Good morning everyone. Welcome again. Today we will discuss topic types of memory in human memory chapter 7. So according to the stage model that we have discussed in previous lecture, there are three memory systems: sensory memory, short-term memory and long-term memory. So let's discuss all this in detail. Firstly, sensory memory. Sensory memory, the incoming information first enters the sensory memory. Sensory memory has a large capacity. It is of very short duration, less than a second. It is memory system that registers information from each of the senses with reasonable accuracy. Often this system is referred to as sensory memories or sensory registers because information from all the senses are registered here as exact replica of stimulus. If you experience visual after images, means the trail of light that see after the bulb is switched off, or when you hear uh, reverberations of sound when the sound has keys, then you are familiar with iconic or echoic sensory registers. We will discuss all these iconic. Here you can see on screen store all the stimuli that register on the senses last up to the 3 seconds. Two types of memory is this: iconic and echoic. Iconic means visual usually last about zero point 0.3 seconds. Sperling test also given in this memory. Echoic memory will come back to this with echoic memory when you hear something and listen something. So it's the shortest term element of memory, the ability to look at an item for a second and then remember what it looked like. It is a process approximately 200 and 500 milliseconds after an item is perceived. This is a memory. Duration of sensory memory varies from the different senses. Iconic means when you see something with your eyes. Echoic when you hear something. And haptic when you touch something. And timing also here: zero point 0.5 second for iconic, 3 to 4 second for echoic. Haptic means 1 second long. Here is one process is here. Events firstly come in sensory memory and register in sensory memory, then go to working memory, then last one is long term memory, how it's encoding, store and retrieve. All these are here. Now second one is short term memory. Short term memory or working memory is the brief time of keeping something in mind before dismissing it, pushing it onto long term memory. The hippocampus and cerebellum store short term memories. You will perhaps agree that we do not attend to all information that imprints on our senses. Information that is intending to enter the second memory store called the short-term memory, means its abbreviated form is STM, which holds small amount of information for a brief period of time, usually for 30 seconds or less. Atkinson and Schifrin propose the information STM is primarily encoding acoustically and in terms of sound, and unless rehearsed continuously, it may get lost from the STM in less than 30 seconds. Note that the STM is a fragile but not as fragile as sensory register, where the information decays automatically in less than a second. Next one is working memory. Model is here. You can see psychologists have suggested that short-term memory is not unitary. Rather, it may consist of many components. This multi-component view of short-term memory was the first proposed by Badley, who suggested that short-term memory is not a passive storehouse but rather a work bench that holds a wide variety of memory material that are constantly handled, manipulated, and transformed as people perform various cognitive tasks. The workbench is called working memory. Here is about long-term memory, the place where data is stored for a long time. Long-term memory is very large. Information can be encoded, stored, and retrieved. It's a long-term memory is the ability to store more information for long period of time, like phone numbers, names, address from when we were kids. Long-term memory can store much larger quantities of information for potentially unlimited duration, sometimes our whole lifespan. Its capacity is immeasurably large. Long-term memory is often divided into two further main types, means declarative and procedural. We will discuss all these in detail further. Firstly, we will discuss control processes that was given by Atkinson and Shiffrin. In 1968, Atkinson and Shiffrin proposed a model of human memory which posted two distinct memory stores, short-term and long-term. Later, a third memory store, actually the first in sequence, was added, sensory memory. So in this, capacity about 7 plus or minus 2 chunks of information, duration about 18 to 20 seconds, processing to hold information in STM. It is often encoded verbally, although other strategies may also be used, such as visualization. These strategies make it possible to rehearse the information. We will discuss all the control processes, notion of control processes in next lecture. That's it for today. Thank you.